morning and welcome to my silly little author vlog. If you're new here, I'm Kirsten, and oh gosh, there's bugs everywhere. I'm a sci-fi fantasy author. I write paranormal and dystopian stuff too. I'm just all over the place, but my most recent release was called The Boy Band Curse. It came out probably like a week ago now when you're watching this, so anyway, I'm still kind of recovering from all the social media stuff I did. For that, it just kind of drained me quite a bit, and I've been feeling like really restless the past few days. So I'm really excited to get into my next project, which is going to be the 5th book of my young adult sci-fi dystopian series called The Affinities. I've written probably about like 80 or 90,000 words of book 5 already, like 2 years ago, and then I kind of put it on the back burner for a while, so I'm trying to get back into it now. And last night I was like reading over all my notes, and I was like, oh, this is why I abandoned this, because I have too many ideas. Like, I have so many ideas for every character and every plot line. Like, there's just so much going on. I don't even know like what to keep, what to get rid of, what's gonna work. So I think I'm just gonna have to start writing again and see what's fitting in. But it was a little overwhelming, I think, but I'm really excited. I love all these characters, and The Boy Band Curse, which is like a paranormal rom-com, it was like a lot more simple and didn't really have a complex plot. So I think it would be fun for me to get back into like really intense plotting. So anyway, that's what I'll be working on today, and probably for most of this vlog I'll just be trying to get back into the Affinities. I'm gonna read all, well, there's technically 7 books because there's 4 novels and 3 novellas, so I'm gonna try to read all of those while I'm working on book 5 so that I don't miss any little like details or subplots that I forgot about. So yeah. The backstory with the Affinities is that I started writing it in like 2016 actually, yeah, because like a main plot of the book is that there's these people with superpowers and like the government doesn't like them. It's like, it's kind of dystopian, but like it feels more like the start of a dystopian. Like it feels more like a book where you're seeing how the dystopian world came to be, or like might become dystopian anyway. So like some of the villains are politicians, and so when I was like planning the book, it was right around the 2016 election, so I was like, okay, whichever candidate wins, like that's the character I'm gonna pick in my book to like win the election in the book and be the villain. So that's how we ended up with Emmett Ventura as a villain. Yeah, so anyway, I was writing that book while I was finishing my fanfiction, The Mudblood, which is like a Harry Potter fanfiction. The Affinities was supposed to originally be 5 books, but now it's 7, plus probably 4 novellas. Yeah, it's pretty long. So anyway, I really love the story and the characters and everything, but I guess like 2 or 3 years ago, I just was starting to feel kind of drained with it because well, it was so long, and I had so many other ideas of stories that I wanted to work on. So I kind of put it just aside about 2 years ago after I published Fracture, which I think is for the best, because now I feel really excited to work on it again. Back then I was like hating it, and I don't know why, because I love it, but like I just was like really feeling resistance about it, and I'm glad that I listened to that resistance. If you've read, I think it's called The War of Art, maybe? I don't know, it's a book that talks about how like artists feel this resistance and you have to push past the resistance to make the art. But I've been kind of thinking lately that maybe the resistance is there for a reason sometimes, at least sometimes for some people. At least for me, I feel like it was really important for me to step back from the series because now I feel reinvigorated with it and ready to actually like make it good. I think if I had tried to force it out 2 years ago, it would have ended up just being trash. Like, my heart would not have been in it properly. And I'm really glad that I wrote Glitter and Gore, which was the book that I kind of left the Affinities to work on. So that's kind of where I'm at. And another funny thing is that I finished Glitter and Gore this time last year, like right before I published it. I finished it, and my intention was to get right into book 2 of that series, which is like, it's like a vampire romance, enemies to lovers kind of thing. But when I tried to start working on book 2, I had this total mental block of how to even start it. Like, I have the entire book outlined, like almost every scene except the first scene. I was like, I have no idea what is happening in this first scene. Like, I know everything that happens after it, but like the first scene was kind of an enigma to me. And so I just kept putting off working on book 2, and I still haven't started book 2, but the day after I finished writing The Boy Band Curse, I suddenly just, all the ideas flooded in for chapter 1 of Glitter and Gore book 2. Sorry, there's a lot going on here if you're new, but yeah, so I feel like everything just comes at the right time and you can't force it personally. But I also believe that my ideas come from like some entities or something, you know, some weird shit like that. I also kind of believe that like my stories are happening somewhere in a parallel universe, like the multiverse or something. But that's a whole other thing we won't talk about right now. It's Saturday now. My husband and I are hiking at a state park. He's making fun of me because I'm filming. I ended up getting a lot done yesterday with the Affinities, so I'm pretty happy with that. I didn't start reading Blood yet, but I did read the end of Fracture, and it hits pretty hard, so anyway, today I'm kind of taking the day off. We're hiking now, and then later we're babysitting our nieces, so it should be a fun day off, and then hopefully tomorrow I can get back into working on the book. Alright, it's Monday now. I got almost nothing done yesterday. I don't really know what happened, but I basically just finished a book that I have been reading since February. So that's good. We're making so much progress here. This morning I basically just reread more of Fracture. I forgot a lot of details about the series in general, but especially now that I'm reading Fracture, I'm like, whoa, I forgot about all those little things. So I don't know, I think Fracture is actually pretty good. I was like hating Fracture when I was writing it years ago, but I don't know, I think it's actually pretty good. Anyway, I feel like I've kind of made the transition from like publishing a book to now working on the next book. Like, I just feel like I'm in the zone with the Affinities now. I have to actually start writing, but I feel like I'm kind of like the release of my last book is kind of behind me now, so I'm glad I didn't go into a slump, because sometimes I think other authors will understand this, but after you publish a book, like publishing a book is kind of like a high, and then you come down. When you're gearing up to publish a book, there's like so much to do, and you have all these like specific tasks that you need to do, and a lot of them are like a little creative but not super creative. Whereas when you're getting back into like writing and drafting a book, it's like it's all creative energy and it's not as much of like I have to do this and this and this. It's more like I need to just write the book. So I think it's just like different modes, and the transition can sometimes be rough, but I think I'm doing okay. I'm gonna have to tweak chapter 1 of Affinities book 5 because right now it's basically just a continuation of the previous scene, like the scene that we end Fracture on. So I'm gonna have to add in little details about like recapping what happened in book 4. So that's fun. I hate editing. I don't know if any other writers will agree, but like that's why I try to make my first draft as perfect as possible, because I hate editing. Like once something is on paper the way it is, I'm like, this is what it is. Like I can't change it. Obviously I can change it, but I just have this kind of thing in my head where it's like, all right, it's there. It exists now in the world, and I can't just go in there and start butchering it, you know? And honestly, I think for me, a lot of times, the more I edit, the worse it becomes. Like, my more, like, raw writing is better. All that being said, I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment letting me know what kind of unhinged superpower you would want if you were in the Affinities universe. You don't need to know about the Affinities universe. You can just give me an unhinged superpower. All right, and I will be back. I'll be back next week with another vlog. Hopefully I'll have some actual progress done on book 5. Like maybe if I could even be done with chapter 2 next week, because chapter 2 is not written yet, because it's like a whole new plot that I'm adding. Oh yeah, and if you haven't already, make sure you go check out The Boy Band Curse. It's the book I released last week. It's an adult paranormal rom-com, why choose romance between a witch and a boy band duo. It's annoyed to lovers, you could say, and it's kind of like a slow burn standalone. It's got forced proximity too, and it's just like an unhinged fun time. So yeah, go check that out. Let me know what you think, and thanks again. Talk to you next week. Bye.